So Juventus is suffering in the Champions League. And a lot of the fault is falling on Sanderson. But why? Both Tevez and Llorente have been missing shots. But Sanderson is the scapegoat. He's the expensive signing. And a lot of people are expecting more from this type of player. Sanderson's getting frustrated. But it doesn't matter. He has to silence the critics. And that's exactly what he's going to try to do. Now, it's not going to be easy, especially against a team like Napoli. But Sanderson always rises to challenges. And a top 4 Napoli, that's a tough challenge. Nevertheless, challenges are there to overcome them. And can Sanderson do just this? As the teams get set for battle, Napoli begins the match, and they begin pretty confident just going into Juventus's area and just shooting the ball like it's simple. And Juve, they have to pick themselves up. After the Champions League games, they haven't been the same. But Sanderson here trying to inspire the team. A beautiful touch, gets around the defender, but the shot is very weak with his weak foot. And he has to work on that weak foot because Sanderson's weak foot has not looked very decent. But doesn't matter, Sanderson's going to continue to battle. Right here, he's chasing for the ball now. In the last episode, Sanderson was not playing defensive here. He steals the ball, he goes on the counter, gives an assist to Llorente. He ends up with that goal, and it's now 1-0. Juventus are leading thanks to Sanderson basically stealing the ball, driving up the field, putting up the assist, and Llorente just, all he had to do was finish. And Sanderson finally redeeming himself in front of this Juventus crowd that, for the most part, since his signing, has not been that supportive. But now, Sanderson feeling inspired again. Look at him tracking back on his defender, staying on his man. He learned his lesson from the last game, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's marking, and then when it's time to counter, he's there ready to counter. Once again, Sanderson on the fence, getting in the face of Insigne, taking the ball from him, and again just pushing forward with his team. He has been inspirational on this half for Juve, getting forward and just taking players on and leading the counterattack, which is basically Juventus' strongest point. So here Sanderson again, minute 35, passes it to Llorente. Llorente has nothing that he could do, so he passes it back to Sanderson, gives a beautiful pass to Llorente, a back heel, but it's intercepted, and that would have been an amazing build-up play. But it doesn't happen. Sirigu here with a save, and that's what Napoli was doing, just straight crosses, and they were getting frustrated because Juve was having the better chances on attack. Now Napoli had the more possession, but Juve they had the better chances on goal, and it happens. Minute 45, Napoli on the counter, and Sanderson from all the way back fights and takes it up from Insigne again, just battling for the ball. And this is what Sanderson brings to the table. He will not give up on a play, and he'll carry his team in his heart. As you can see, as they walk back to the locker room, all he could think about is his fans, is the Juventus fans that don't deserve to see their team lose. But as he keeps battling, he keeps getting fouled. This time it's by Jorginho. But it doesn't matter. Sanderson get right back up, takes on another player, drives against the defense, and Sanderson was running forward, was running backwards, was trying to give assists, was trying to have finishes, and he was just a mess. Right here, he's defending his teammate. It's so intense for Sanderson right now because it's almost like he has a point to prove. He's one of the best players in the world, and yet he's not getting the respect that a lot of these best players in the world are. So Sanderson again with a nice beautiful build-up play. The first touch eludes from him. He tries to shoot, he doesn't get it. Llorente with a shot, and then Rui Patricio keeps the ball. So now it's the 75th minute, and Napoli is turning up the heat. As a shot from Insigne is blocked. Sanderson now with an opportunity in the dying minutes, but no, that weak foot, Sanderson, that weak foot is just terrible at the moment. Look at the amount of attempts that Juventus had to Napoli was ridiculous. Here, minute 90, Chievo against Juventus, and Juventus manages to win, but Tevez is injured for 3 weeks. So good news and bad news. Right after that, we have qualifiers, and Sanderson would not be picked for the first game, and Paraguay starts winning actually. Colombia need a win or a draw to maintain their status, and James Rodriguez gets it. If they would have lost, then Colombia could probably be out of the World Cup. Now they're going up against Ecuador, and Sanderson's playing in his favored role, the one that he played at Chelsea. All Colombia needs is 1 point to stay and qualify for the World Cup, and they're playing away. And Colombia fans are expecting Colombia to pull this off because Ecuador is one of the weaker sides. At the beginning of the match, Colombia starts off with their classic short style passing plays. And here we go. Sanderson already putting up the ball. Guarin back to Sanderson, but it's stolen. Minute 30. It was a very, very tight contested match. As you can see, Sanderson again on the fence. Ecuador will have their chances as well, though. As you can see right here, Valencia with a shot, but it just doesn't go for him. It was just like the Sanderson shot in the Serie A. Then in minute 45, Sanderson gets the ball. He lays it off to James Rodriguez, but it is just missed. And unbelievable. They cannot miss these. And they go into the half, and it's been a tight contested match. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Ecuador was one of the easier teams, but as you can see, their strategy was to double mark and triple mark Sanderson. Right there, he was triple marked, then they take the ball from him. Right here, again, look at this. 5 Ecuador players around Sanderson, knocking him down. 2 Ecuador players this time on Sanderson, taking the ball away. And again, right here, a triangle all over Sanderson. And it was just impossible for him to get through. When they didn't have him marked, they slid and they tackled him hard. And that's just the way they were going to play Sanderson. Ecuador would eventually have a chance, but it just goes over the crossbar. Colombia now on a counter, and guess who's leading that counter? It's Sanderson one more time. He's a bit tired, but he's gonna try. He lays it off to Falcao, and this is the moment. Colombia will qualify to the World Cup, but no. Falcao missed. Does Sanderson deserve the criticism he's getting from both Colombia and from Juventus for things that he cannot control? He can't make the strikers finish. Now here he deserves any criticism that he gets. But is it your fault when things are not under your control and fans just for some reason want to fault you? Is that the way the world works? For Sanderson, that was the case. Here's Ecuador with one last opportunity. Doesn't get it done. Sanderson one more time just gives a beautiful ball to Castillo to hit a counter. Falcao has Guarin on his right. He doesn't pass it up. And the game is over. And yes, Colombia qualified to the World Cup, but it wasn't in a stellar fashion. Sanderson, a bad match rating, but was it really his fault? He did all he could. He managed to qualify for the World Cup. And up next is Cagliari. He's not selected, but thankfully they managed to win 2-0. After that is Paris Saint-Germain, another Champions League match. And all Sanderson is hearing is hate. Is that how fans are when players are going through a rough moment? Do you turn your back on them? Sanderson gets a phone call, and it's his father.
Sanderson, that's the way the world works. Sometimes you're the hero, sometimes you're the villain, no matter what you do.
But why? Why does it have to be like that?
It's just how it is. Ignore the ones that turned their back on you, and play for the ones that stood by your side.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you very much. Up next is Paris Saint-Germain, with players like Ibrahimovic, Lavezzi, Cavani, and our old pal, David Luiz. Can Juventus finally get a win in the Champions League? Find out in the next episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you want to catch up to any of my series, just click on the videos up above and it'll take you to the last episode of each respective series. I just want to give a quick shout out to the guys that like my videos and gave me words of encouragement throughout this time that my El Gato has been broken. And to the people that gave me dislikes and unsubscribed from my channel, I don't know, I'm glad that I can see where you stand. Thank you very much. It's been your boy Full Metal Zoe, and I'm out. Peace.